Going to be a quick counter-attack. SniR loses the ball. Big knock forward. Waterfall's down and he'll find the target. Opened up from the heavens. Down, a Decadentia player gets a touch right in field. And hold on a minute. It's going to be on target. Ripper knocked out.
Isaac trying to bring this ball away. Flipping into the middle. No, NC cuts it off the sidewall. Beautiful redirect. Clear, but Dantronex collects. It's over to the left side where Silence lies. What a pass inside. Dirk and Jazz working together. The low 50 played, ball into no man's land. Hill motion. Takes to the skies, off the ceiling, reset, dunks down!
And Clifty will look to try and take a shot at the upper finals. Still waiting for its real opening. Clifty off the ceiling. Hold on a minute. He will find the redirect! Welcome to the Redirects 3v3 Monthly. It's number 36. You can stuff up 3 years with some redirect action now. It has been active for 2.5 years now, and we're doing pretty darn strong. I'm in a fantastic mood for the rest of the night. It's myself, Sir Pegasus, joined by Rhino.
Pleasure to be here once again, Pegasus. Can't wait to get into some Redirect 3v3 Monthly, my favorite time of every month. It's so reliable, always here, and I cannot wait to see how the teams are getting on in the bracket so far.
Yeah, it's been quite some time since the last monthly. That was in the 9th of the previous month. Wow. So yes, it's been about as long of a break as it can be between two monthlies, but we are so glad that it's back. And with that, there have already been shocks to the bracket. Oxalys Bunch versus Ballin is going to be our upper final, but if you're looking for our highest seeds, Nomster Seed 1 are already gone. Team Finland Seed 2, they didn't double DQ out the tournament. They are still gone, and we've also got Seed 4 Triple Tate already sent out of the competition. So this is the time for more players to rise up.
Yeah, it is. This is a real opportunity for everybody who is just not quite at that upper echelon that we've seen so far in the Redirect 3v3 Monthly. So many players come through and take home that top spot, and oftentimes they actually go the distance, right? They'll go into that final, they go into the upper bracket final. But this time around, it seems to be one of the most unpredictable 3v3 monthlies we've had to date, and that excites me greatly because we get to see some new talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And just having a look at all of the seeding lists so far, usually our baseline is looking at how many 2K players signed up. This time it was 24, a ridiculous amount, but on top of that, we had 10 2100 plus players on average. That is an insane number. It just feels like every single monthly is that bit more historic. Sign-ups have been extremely high for this monthly, and that sets up for a wonderful top 3 for our uppers, lowers, and of course grand finals. But right, we're still in that best of 5 period, and I'm very excited for that Oxalys Bunch versus Ballin matchup.
Yeah, let's take a look at who is going to be taking to the field then, because these two, well, orgs, if you want to call them that, one of them certainly is haven't really been around for too long. So starting on the Oxalys Bunch side, we've got the exciting trio of Tomio, Nolta, and Ray. Meanwhile, over on the Ballin side, it's 2 Finns and an Englishman. There's 2 Danes, 1 bruv, some kind of joke in there somewhere with Silas, Tossis, and Growly.
Well, looking at this Oxalys Bunch side, they were actually signed just yesterday for the organisation, and this is already a fantastic start to their new team's run with a top 3 in a 3v3 monthly. Still need to get 1 more win if they want to secure any prize pool, but Tomio and Ray especially have become familiar faces to the Redirect 3v3 monthlies. We know how much we love the Finns, and of course Tossis is part of that list. Growly is forever going to be in the European Rocket League scene, and he was in the intro, Rhino. It's of course I lose to round off that side, so lots of familiar names for me. Nolta is going to be the big question mark, but equality has already been tested to be here in the first place.
Yeah, trust me, there's one person currently watching this stream who has absolutely no question marks around Nolta's quality, and that is going to be Monkey Shines, someone who definitely knows this player inside and out, has been doing the team streams in EU for a little while, And yeah, he's going to be very excited to see his boy making his way onto the top 3 here in the Redirects 3v3 monthly. And I think you're right, though. I think it's going to be a bit of an awakening, I guess, for a few people who get to experience and see this player play for the first time, of course, of Kosovo descendants. So we will see how that goes. I'm excited to see this. I know he's played with Tomio a lot. I don't know how his relationship with Ray is, but I know Tomio and Nolta have been teaming for a good long while. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they can involve Ray in that group. And then over on the other side, we've seen Tossis go around a few different teams. He's never really found a place that he can call home over the last couple of seasons in RLCS. So now trying to maybe work in this new Finn player that I've not really seen before outside of the one clip you saw in the intro with Silas and Growly, of course, the name that we do all know and love. So this is a really interesting game for me. Game 1's going to tell us a lot about the series, I think.
Siluz has so many Redirect 3v3 monthly caps by this point. He is oftentimes in these upper finals and lower finals stages, of course. He does have a few grand finals to his name as well. And with these teammates he's got alongside him, this is definitely going to be another opportunity to reach that spot. But Ray, we spoke a bit before stream, is of that Moroccan descent. And we know how much Morocco especially has been rising up in recent time. But the game is ready, ladies and gentlemen. Our upper finals is ready to get underway. A new organization enters the Redirect 3v3 monthly mix, but overall these are 6 familiar faces for a spot in the grand finals. It's good to be back.
As rightly said, welcome back to Redirect's 3v3 monthly. Oxalys bunch versus Ballin. Some familiar faces, some new ones too. And not only do you get yourself in that grand final, you also get yourself that game advantage in the best of 7 grand final if you're to win this upper final. All to play for, Pegasus. Let's get it rolling.
Such a high talent pool, and we've been used to the alternate playlist now with 2v2 and 1v1 being mostly played in the past month, but with the LCQ around the corner, you've still got to find some 3v3 quality if you want any chance at going to Dickie's Arena. And these players definitely on the fringe of those conversations, but who knows what the future has to offer. It's Tomio.
Yeah, lovely work off the left-hand side. We are going to apparently skip that replay. Didn't want to watch it again anyway, as he goes through and takes out 2 with a bit of a fake, that one. It was a nice play. Didn't get the reset. I think wanted it, but either way, still was able to make that one work. So ball in defense, little shaken early. They might be shaken again. No, save on the goal line from Growly.
Tossis though gets that 100 boost, can't get it past Nolta, stays on that backboard. Tomio though is going to be the one to take possession. Second man sits right behind. Nolta can already see that chemistry between those two players. Ray's not able to finish the job. It's a great clearance coming from Tossis. There's an even better counter-attacking strike from Siluz.
Yeah, nice work going down the field on this right-hand side. Just able to make the most of Oxalys bunch being a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too far pushed forwards. We've already seen that get the better of a few in the ones playlist. So to see it come through in the 3s as well is quite interesting. I was about to mention, it's going to be weird when we don't have a game that ends like 9-8 to one team, but the rate that these two teams are scoring, maybe we'll still get there.
Well, we might be free from the curse. It's 6-7 I've had to deal with. Never mind. This is a ridiculous play to come out of Ray and Tomio. Off the ceiling, the pre-jump is there. No pinches needed. Bail away at the last minute to the top corner. That is an excellent way to take the lead. Oh, no.
I get the feeling this may be a story. Oxalys bunch working hard for every single one of their goals. Picturesque, gorgeous, replay-worthy moments. Ballin's goals not so much, as they just take advantage of a kickoff there and of some miscommunication earlier. Here's Tossis through the air, top shelf. That one would have been a nice one to look back on, but doesn't go home. And Oxalys bunch clear away. Tomio reset, looking to take it through, cleared by Siluz.
Right. Gets that second touch, but not before Tossis had already Misdirected that ball, made it tougher to find the inside. Tosses will do it all himself. Favor for Ballin, but Nolta cuts rotation at that right time for the higher boost. Tomio to go for the sideball read. It's on target, but SniR prevents.
The offense coming through from Oxalys bunch is really nice to look at. They've got some absolute laser shots from anywhere on the field, and that is going to concern Ballin as this series moves on, but that's a double commit, moving back down the other way now. Toss this double, no, waiting for Growly to come through. There's a player on the goal line, and now the counter is in. Ray looking for the top right corner. No one can get back in time. It's frantic, it's fast-paced, but Oxalys bunch take the lead.
Already seeing a lot of that 1v1 prowess actually headed into these series. We've seen the kickoff goals. We've seen the demo completely break apart the defense. And we've seen those one-on-one opportunities that have to be taken. Nolta bails away. It's on target. It's tosses again from his own half.
Can we stop this, please? Take a lead and then actually defend. That's all I'm asking, boys. It's not a lot, I think. 2.5 minutes still to play. 6 goals scored. Goodness gracious me. And there might be another one off the kickoff. Tosses has Nolta facing him up. Gets the flick as well for the first time. Ballin take the lead.
And this is a lot more of an earned play, admittedly. Early after a kickoff, no matter what. Oxalys bunch have worked hard for every single goal. Like you said, that's going to be the easiest one of the bunch.
What is happening? What are we doing here? Defenses need not apply. Offense is starting to roll early on. And we often talk, certainly in threes, about a feeling out process, about the two teams trying to figure out how each other wants to play, and there's none of that here. Another breakaway. Can someone please stay in your own half? It's not difficult. 5-4.
So, what was that about? We won't be getting any of these 1v1 score lines that are super high. If anything, I don't think Oxalys bunch nor Ballin were prepared to play freeze either. This is the first 3v3 tournament that has been in Europe for quite some time. Now getting themselves warmed up, though, this is the perfect opportunity.
It's always the sign of a good tournament when I crash out in game 1 of series 1 of the broadcast. That's how you know we're in for a good night. Yeah, normally it takes a little while. Nah, not today. I'm out for blood today, apparently. 1 minute 40 still to play. Top shelf, no. A defensive play has actually been made. Holy moly.
Usually your crash outs come from team streams. You don't even have a horse in this race.
I don't.
Oh my goodness, right, shot off the crossbar, of course it is. Growly has to tip to the backboard, that shot is high. Ray on the follow, the pre-flip isn't going to reach for the ball in defender. It's another messy attack, but credit where credit's due. Oxalys bunch able to hold down the offense.
The attacking team actually score a goal. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it, eh? Here we are, not me. Ball forward, backboard double. Ooh, Tomio just misreads that one. That was a real opportunity. Now the counter attack. Oh, but Ray is back in a defensive position. It doesn't make a difference. Growly still finds the double, and they're back within 1.
Look, Growly's been here for years. I would have been shocked if they had missed that opportunity. We've seen those week in, week out, seasons in, seasons out, and the 3v3 monthly is going to be no stranger to that either. Back out wide, Nolta is bumped off, but Ray will pick up the possession. The spot in the corner doesn't find any further inside space. SniR can't make the block. Nolta has his own backboard to read, but Growly gets there first.
Yeah, he does, but Tomio keeps the pressure on. Ray moving forwards, off the ceiling, reset over, wants a double, and through comes Tomio to try and convert. Can't do so. Nolta can't maintain possession, but he can get a cut. Toss this over on this near side. Growly, where are you come from? Why is he there? I have absolutely no idea. But Ballin, they take the draw now at least. 6-6, 30 seconds to play.
It's excellent positioning from Growly. There was another Ballin player waiting behind, but that won't matter now because Ray has just made it 7, and maybe we do get the 6-7 scoreline. Unfortunate.
Yeah, but maybe we both cast a curse this series within 5 minutes of it even starting. So that's great. There's another one. So, you know,
do we wait till the final 5 at this point? They're just going to keep scoring. Eventually, they should tire themselves out, and we should mellow down a bit for the remainder of this best of 5. But all jokes aside, I like to see both teams coming out swinging. Ray throws another haymaker forward into the corner. Nolta doesn't have a teammate option on the inside. In fact, it's all three Ballin players. One's already behind the final defender of Oxalys' bunch. Ray cuts around, and you can see Tomio already up, who was on target, but a ground on 0 seconds will deny.
I love the fact you're talking about them like children. They're going to tie themselves out in a minute. They're just getting out all their energy. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. As now on this right-hand side, Nolta and Ray. Ray clearly coming that he wants control. Reset, goes high, wants the 50. Surely, what a save! Oh my goodness,
Wow.
on the goal line. I think that's Siluz, who just got to the ball. And Oxalys' bunch going to be wondering how they've not won this first game.
We say, like, tying themselves out like children. I want to point out that Ray is genuinely 16 years of age. What a talent that he is, of course, of Moroccan descent. Nolta gets that second touch. That is a gorgeous pass across, but Siluz puts an end to that play. It's back in Ballin's possession. That fake's going to help the setup.
Oh my goodness. The low 50 played as well, but it is saved away in the end. Nolta going up for an early challenge, gets the demo for his trouble. Tomio might get an extra touch. The redirect over the top. So close to the winner. I really like the play. Go ahead from Tomio. But that angle not going to be found, and the clearance once again. And I love seeing that there is a third man back. Ray taking an opportunity. Nolta goes high, off the ceiling, reset, tries to stay with the play. Siluz deals with it.
That was almost a credible way to pick up the 15th goal of this game. And of course, for the decider, Nolta not going to get any further chances. Tomio stepped up extremely high. Ray's caught him off. And it was a good read coming off the backboard. Had to make sure that one was perfect. All the bodies are committed forward in this offense. Ray is beaten on this right wall. It's wing to wing. 2 minutes of extra time have been added. And this is only game 1.
Yeah, now over the top, going to be cleared away. Ray, backboard, needs some help. Tomio's coming in late, finds the bottom left-hand corner. And we didn't even get to the 2-minute mark. Oxalys' bunch score at the death. They win the OT. And that's going to do it for 8-7. And that is, well, that's just a one scoreline, isn't it? We need to chill out a little bit moving forward.
Thank goodness we were skipping replays. That was set up from the 1v1 streams this morning. We might have to keep that on, honestly, if it keeps on being played out like that. But, I mean, it was 6 players with fantastic performances. One is standing out there. It's the only player with 4 digits. It's the aforementioned Ray. Of course, you need to be worth more than that first game. And, well, they've been worth a few monthlies now, so the skill on that side of a pitch is completely undeniable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the offense of Oxalys' bunch is absolutely unbelievable. All 3 of these players have shown real top quality, real technical brilliance in the offensive half. The less said about their defensive half in that first game, the better. But, you know, at least you've got something to hang on to, and it was enough to take home that first game. Meanwhile, on the other side, I think Siluz, Growly, and Tossis were mainly in that defensive position in that game. They were trying to stop what Oxalys' bunch were trying to do and get those counter-attack goals, and it worked for them in regular time. They just couldn't get it over the line in OT. So moving on to Forbidden Temple, I'm interested to see how both of these teams adapt, because Oxalys' bunch cannot keep up this pace for the full series. I would be really surprised.
Well, we're just going to find out, because I must say, we cursed everything we could have in that first game. Hopefully, those hexes have all worn out now. I'm not sure who Oxaly is, but he has picked a talented group of players. Siluz up on his lonesome. 50's good towards those wings. The demo will help open up some space, but it's still these corners after all.
Another double commit coming through from Oxalys' bunch. Ray does get the clearance, picked up by Tossis, out of the corner. Lovely redirect out of the corner, finds the pass. Another double commit on the goal line from Oxalys' bunch. They are going to pay for a couple of those if they keep doing it, I would think. Tomio into the middle, cleared away, out to the corner. Nolta now to try and get the clearance away, but Ballin have started Forbidden Temple really strong.
Back out into the centre. Ray It's 50'd away by Growly. Tomio has to be the play to chase, but Tossis is up early. And that forces the ball to be sent to his left-hand side. Siluz is already ready for it, but a recovery just isn't good enough to keep that play moving. Now it's up to Growly with less in the tank, an awkward position with a recovering Oxalys bunch behind them. There you can see possession dies, and it's back into this orange third.
Ray's really finding those gaps nicely. That's a good angle. Hits the post. Close to the first goal from Oxalys bunch. We've already gone 1 minute and 10 seconds without a goal. It won't be longer. Yes, it will. What a save from Tomio.
Bicycle out. Ray from his own third can't take it past the first. Siluz will continue to clamp down on this pressure. Nolta gets the first touch. A second is needed. It saves the strike of Growly. And now Ballin are forced to reset. They thought they would have to offer kickoff.
I saw Nolta jump ridiculously early, and I thought, well, that's a goal. That's going home. And no, somehow he stays with the play. I mean, team bumps coming through as well. What a chaotic game that we've got. We're watching here. This is your upper final, the 3Direct 3v3 monthly, number 36. And this is why we've been going for so long. Games like this one, Siluz in his defensive half, trying to give it to Tossis, but he whiffs on the clearance. And now there's a pass. Back post Ray, off the ceiling, still alive, cleared away.
Growly needs to fight the clearance out. Oxalys bunch, though, I've got their rotations on point, though the boost is running out. Only Tomio can chase here in a vertical plane. Nolta takes that second. The demo was actually from Ray. I thought that was on the opposite side. That gave them just the slightest path to escape out of, but still we're looking for that first goal after what was such a high-scoring opener.
And more chaos is happening. Nolta gets bumped off. That should be one. It's off the crossbar. Still a chance for Siluz, but he can't find the double. Oxalys bunch. How many lives do you have? Are they a cat at this point? I don't get it. Siluz off the top, looking for another one. Another save this time by Tomio. And now Tossis looking for the shot. Cleared away once more.
Well, it's opposite poles in the ball and the woodwork of the Oxalys bunch goal. It just feels like the ball is magnetic towards it. Still goalless despite all the pressure of Ballin, and Oxalys bunch have had their few opportunities to knock on the door on the opposite side. If one of those chances breaks through, all of that momentum for Ballin will be for nothing.
Yeah, it will. And it's worrying. Tomio very aggressive. Now it's going to be Nolta left side. Ray takes over off the ceiling. We know what he can do. Fakes out one, fakes out two. Reset top shelf. Ray, that's ridiculous.
Sensational. Has gotten caps for their country. And you can see why. There's a new Moroccan wonder kid in town.
1 minute 18 to play. We've only seen one goal. I know I asked people to slow it down. I didn't mean this much, but I'll tell you something. If that's the deciding goal, then that's all we need for the socials. Thank you very much, Oxalys bunch. Appreciate you. Off the left side, Growly gonna move forwards. Cleared away off this right-hand side. Oh my goodness, so many demos. Got no idea what's happening. Tomio still sends it away. Growly drops it down. Siluz trying to get to the ball first, and he does. But Oxalys bunch are right there on the scene, and now a triple commit moving forwards. But the bump on the back line is enough. Tomio goes top right corner. That's 2-0.
Well, they haven't spent much time in his final third, but when they do, they throw the kitchen sink at them. Recognise that there was one defender behind, so that risk assessment was, we can send plays forward. There's absolutely no risk here, assuming this 50 is good enough, and they didn't even need it. Growly over one, 40 seconds to score two. This seems unlikely, and yes, I'll tempt the curse.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a very dangerous thing to do in this series in particular. There has been so much unpredictability that it's, I mean, yeah, sure. Throw a curse in as well. Why not? You can see Ballin being very aggressive, all three in the Oxalys bunch half, but the breakout is on. Now out of the corner. Tomio not going to get there, but a demo in the back line. Siluz taken out of the offensive play. And now that drop down is only going to find Ray. He should be able to see out the time. That's a shot on. Another double commit on the goal line. They won't get found out after that one. and it's a little bit more of a paint-by-numbers game, but I do mean only a little bit in this game too, as Oxalys bunch are 1 game away from that grand final.
What a just mental game we have just witnessed. I was trying to find a better word, a more professional way to phrase that, but it just simply wasn't. You look at the shot difference between these two teams. It was 5 to the 11 on the side of Ballin, but arguably that's not telling the full story. For the first 3.5 minutes of that game, Oxalys bunch, all 3 players were just penned up in that 6-yarder, unable to escape, but vitally unable to concede as well, to the point where it started to feel like a detriment. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but they still managed to pick up the win.
I'm going to tell you right now, in a different league recently, me and you have been crying out for defensive plays, right? And like clips of defensive plays. We could just make a compilation off of that game too for Oxalys bunch. Some of those saves were absolutely ridiculous. The one I always will remember is Nolta at that near post, jumping so ridiculously early and still being able to make, I think it was a double save at the time. If Oxalys bunch keep up with that, they're going to be just fine. I've got no concerns at all. The one thing I do have concerns about, a few too many double commits for my liking. Ballin do need to start taking advantage when they come their way.
There's also going to be frustration on that orange side as well to not even pick up a goal in that last game. Losing is bad enough, but not even 1 goal. They could already surpass that peak of their previous game, and they do, and this comes off the back of, my goodness, just a magnetic touch from Growly to drag the ball across the pitch, and SniR just has to stroke that one home.
Great air dribble coming through from Growly, and you're absolutely right, SniR, that's going to be one of the easiest goals he's going to score. It's taken us significantly less time to get a goal in this game, number 3, and maybe a second. Great save from Tossis, and Oxalys bunch are going to be moving backwards, trying to find another way through. 100 picked up over the top. Tomio pushed away. Ray at the near post, sent away by Growly once more, and he'll be able to get beyond Nolta as well. Nolta still gets back in the fight, and it's a really nice cut.
SniR looked for that pre-jump and landed exactly as he would like, but still Growly was positioned well enough. That possession still is Ballin's, but there are those double commits that you spoke about before. Rhino Tossis is unable to carry this one through himself. There is going to be a player with lower boost count off the back of that previous double commit, but Oxalys bunch still haven't been able to take the opportunity to escape. It's extremely low on their side. Double tap, not going to land through Tossis, and this feels like more of the same.
Yeah, but Oxalys bunch are all 3 back, and we've seen in that last one, oh my goodness, what a flick. That is powerful, but Growly equal to it. Moving down the left side, intercepted by Nolta. No time for Color, just got a play-by-play right now. It's right in front of the net. All 3 Ballin members behind, but they are able to clear away downfield. Growly, another save at the other end.
Tomio takes it around SniR. Ravo isn't high enough on that play to catch it. Instead, Growly beats 2 for the price of 1. Ray is able to recover and, well, will return the deal for himself. Gets the wall dashes back into the play. SniR already has it on that back ball, but that's enough pressure to bring the ball into the skies, set up Nolta. Tomio and Ray have all recovered, but that is miscommunicated.
Yeah, but Tomio still has possession. Looks for the 50 in front of net, can't find it. Now Nolta trying to keep the pressure on, and it's a little bit of role reversal as Ballin had so much of the aggression last game. Now it's Oxalys bunch to try and break through. Ballin, who have put up a wall, seems relatively impenetrable, and maybe they'll go down the other end. Ray will make the save once again just below the crossbar. Oxalys bunch defense back online.
SniR, great self-touch on that left, but Growly pulls off the redirect off ground, picks up the second goal, and that's going to be the first for the 3-year marker.
Yeah, I don't think Nolta was thinking that he was going to go challenge there. I think he thought he had time for that ball to bounce and catch it into the corner. So, really nice work from Ballin. They make Oxalys bunch regret a couple of those earlier decisions, and now Ray being forced into the play. It might still work out for him, though. Won't be able to get the turn on the ball. Tomio takes over off that left side, cleared away by Tossis. Growly, Ray is jumping very early there. Growly going to try and keep this one going. Nolta clears.
Back down to Tomio. Tossis will hold that 50 across. Growly's in the area. Nolty still gets the touch in time. Siluz will be able to find the target on that one, but that's a great pass from Growly. Tossis was positioned well. Shot not quite finding the target, and now Nolta powers his way through one, needs a second. Siluz is 50'd on the third. So much chaos being caused by Ballin. It's not had that same response like we saw in the game beforehand.
Oh, that's a chance. Ray goes over the top, 1v1. We know what tends to happen in those moments. No! Oh, that's devastating. They've done all the hard work. Just put the ball anywhere else in the goal. And if they weren't tilted about not scoring already, they are now. Maybe Ballin gonna pile on the misery, not this time.
Tossis towards Growly. It was another great redirect attempt, but Ray has that angle covered. But at this point, Ballin don't even need a goal as long as they have possession. Just a bit of pressure against Oxalys' bunch. Just running down that clock is going to be enough. And I haven't seen enough chances out of our blue side. It is uncharacteristic, but game two was somewhat setting that up if Ballin could find consistency, and they have. I lose. Just doesn't get on the end of this one.
No, he doesn't. Now Nolta off the near side, clearing it away. Ray's going to be there, but he actually misses that flick. He doesn't have any boost to get back to the ball. 30 seconds remain. And if this was in the ones playlist, I'd say there's still enough time, and there might still be if that goes home. Tossis has to make sure that he marshals it away. Ray, there's a demo on the goal line, and hang on just a moment. Kickoff goals could happen. 17 seconds for Oxalys' bunch to keep the dreams of a sweep alive.
Well, team streamer of two of these threes in chat. This could be one for the content. 17 seconds. Oxalys' bunch have played such a frustrating game already, but Tossis takes that space forward. Siluz keeps it in the opposing half. Nolta gets a good touch heading into this corner. Has decent boost, but Growly is there to challenge two other teammates. Our deeper set, double commit comes through. Nolta could keep that high. There's a player on that left wall. It's Tomio. Players inside the box as well, but Tossis off the ceiling sends it towards Siluz. This surely hits ground. The touch is good, and it comes off the curb. Bounces as high as possible. Tossis for the ground, doesn't reach it. Ray has it covered. Are we serious? Is this still up? Nolta doesn't reach it. So close to a miracle. Instead, we head to game 4.
Oh my goodness. I feel like, again, we all just need to take a breather, because these 3 games have been absolutely breathless. So fast-paced. So much chaos across the field. Is this what threes is? Have I just forgotten what threes looks like after watching so much 2s and 1s? I'm kind of serious about this. I mean, what is that? I'm so confused. But either way, look, there it is. There's the slow-mo. That was the way for Oxalys' bunch to get back into it. They can't do so. And so, still 1 game away from that grand final, but the difference now is that Ballin have a race. They have a dog in the fight.
As far as best of 5 series go, back from the hiatus of the primary playlist for Rocket League, this has definitely been delivering, but of course it's EU as well, and EU always finds a way to give us a good game. That was a very strong showing from Ballin. We did start to see a little bit of a late recovery there from Oxalys' bunch, but it's in the first word there, Rhino, a little bit late for my liking, especially when you're conceding 2 so early.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's going to be the problem right now. I mean, Oxalys' bunch so far for those first 2 games started really brightly, really quickly. They made sure that Ballin were on the back foot both times. Whereas in that 3rd game, they just took a little bit of a while to warm up. You saw Ballin really being the aggressors in that game. You saw them really kind of taking it to Oxalys' bunch, and they struggled to deal with it a little bit. Obviously, in that game too, their defense was otherworldly. You can't always rely on those saves that kind of go your way, and they found that out in game 3.
That being said, they did lock it down for the final portions of it, but that's the tough part about being a defensive team. You make one mistake, that can be the entire game lost, and it would have been there because Oxalys bunch were not even able to pick up one in the lead up, and we do have some time until we are going to get into that next game, so let's just get a little bit of a reminder of the journey to reach this point. It was a sweeping victory against who we have dubbed Anti-Monster against Oxalys bunch, and Ballin beating out SniR Esport. That's another team that has some Moroccan talent on that side, certainly as a Francophone roster, but when you're here in EU, they're never too far away.
No, they're not. And you can see down the bottom, you've got that lower semi-final that has just kicked off. SniR Esports versus Team 7 Esports. Two really exciting teams that you really don't want to be facing, right? If Oxalys bunch and Ballin were looking at the bracket, they're kind of looking at that lower semi-final and they're thinking, I could really do with getting through to that grand final, because either of those two teams could really cause problems. That's Kyra, Weil, and Yukoko on SniR Esports, and Leonez, Rafa, and Zobas on the side of Team 7. So, yeah, you don't want to be going into that lower final, because that's going to be a tough game, no matter who makes it through.
Aren't these monthly so stacked, Rhino? I mean, this is the 36th installment, and it just feels like every single time it just continues to level up as time goes on. And, well, we had 10 2100 plus teams competing in this Redirect 3v3 monthly. That's why we've still got such a stacked lower bracket awaiting whoever loses in this upper finals. But we still have to decide that upper final. So we do have kickoff, we do have game 4. Oxalys bunch still one away from that advantage in grands.
Yeah, but a bit of momentum now for Ballin. Can they make that work? There's a demo. Tomio takes out one of the Ballin players. Tomio now looking for that double. Dealt with by Ballin. Good understanding of backboard presence. Now the pass middle, a bump happening. Nolta trying to get the clearance away, but Tossis very ready for that one. And as always, we've started pretty quickly here in this game number 4.
Growly went for something very fancy off that back ball. Required a lot more space for that one to happen, and, well, you're not going to get that in this lobby. Growly, though, has still found a pocket in the skies. Not going to create enough power behind that one, so it's Ray for the clearance, but Tossis will get a reset for himself.
Yeah, ooh, that play out of the corner. Chance for Ray out the back post, but he didn't have any boost in the tank. But a bump on the defender is going to be enough to make some room. Oxalys bunch take the lead.
Well, you never expected this, did you? That was a huge mistake to come from Ballin in the corner. It completely opened up the attack, but again, I love the way Oxalys bunch always reacts when they recognize a player is out of the defense. Immediately, all three step up. They have found a crazy amount of organization for what is typically a very high-paced play in those small pockets. And, well, they've had lots of practice of that in the defensive third. They have yet again.
Yeah, they have, moving down the field now. Good block from Tossis, but it's only going to give the ball to Nolta. Over to that right side. Can't get the 50, but the ball still lands in his favor, really. Tossis out of the corner. Back in from Tomio. Needs a 50, doesn't find it. Now Ray comes across. The speed of Oxalys bunch is really telling right now. Gets the reset, nothing more. Silus stops him in his tracks. Nolta just gets in front of Tossis, and they really don't want this ball to break past that halfway mark. A demo comes through. Nolta jumped early, but he still makes a really good read, and Oxalys bunch still have possession.
Good hit, though, coming from Tomio. Needs a second. Tossis is bumped off. Silus, though. It's up like a rocket. Reaches there in time. It's another redirect from Growly. And Silus, you said earlier, wouldn't get an easier strike. I think he's found one.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. This is once again going back to that game 1 cadence where Oxalys bunch are so intent on going forwards and playing offensively that they sometimes forget about that defense a little bit. We saw Nolta jumping early just a moment ago. I called it out. And on another day, the player that's getting to that ball first is going to be able to play that over him, and it's a goal to Ballin anyway. This time around, yeah, there's no one back with boost, and that leads to big problems on the defense. Silus taking a shot there. It's going to miss wide, and Nolta can bring it away down the left side. Going to be back to the middle. Nolta trying to once again just Just slow the play down. Sometimes that's all you need to do when the clearance is in.
Growly just bails away from this one. Kodabe's picked up. Ray, is he going to be able to backflip into this one? That's very heavy off the wall. Tomio struggled to get this one back in their possession, but that is a similar experience for both sides, especially when Ray's biting at your ankles, manages to get the beat on Silus, stays active, bumps out Growly. Tomio will have to take charge here in the corner. Is bumped off. Nolta claims a demo for himself, and these are the rare pockets you have to be prepared for in 3v3s, but Silus shuts it down.
And the clearance away from Ballin as well is going to cause Oxalys Bunch some problems. Nolta takes the boost away from his teammate, goes high, over one, gets past two, but the third is back. Too many players on the field. I agree with Monkey Shines there. Trying to get through. Nolta off this right side. Trying to get beyond. Growly, though, intercepting, flicking middle. Passes there. The save is two, but a double commit causes problems. Ray gets a hand up. How have Ballin not scored? And now Silus takes it away from his own teammate.
Oh, but they're struggling to clear this ball out. Neither Ray and I think it was Nolta had any boost of a tank. It led to that desperation pinch out, but the time has been taken just to get those pads. The quarter boost is available, stolen by Growly. That could matter later, but Tomio tries to make sure that isn't the case. Doesn't get the pass back from Ray. Nolta on his lonesome, on his own lines, covers that backboard. The lower space is covered by Tomio. The rotations are so fluid. That's why we remain at that equalizer. Could be broken now.
Yeah, Ray not getting the touch that he was looking for. Gonna have to try and get this one, but there is a third man back. That's going to be Nolta. Silus didn't get the reset, so Ray now can bring this away. Pass to Tomio on the left, knocks it past one. Double commit on the goal line from Ballin. No one's capitalized from Oxalys Bunch because they're going to double commit themselves. Now Growly pops this high. Nolta off the backboard, drops down, waterfall.
Oh!
No one's there. There's a raw one on the backboard. It has been broken, but the deadlock hasn't.
Nolta is going to leave this one. Ray was facing forward, now shifts to shadow. Wants that pass inside instead, only finds orange cars. Growly a split second away from opening the space of the final lines. 10 seconds, a chance for some late drama this time. If we don't see any, OT will be there to follow. Tosses, flip reset, down, comes off the curve again, off that back wall. Is hit high by Tomio. Nolta wants to keep the play alive. Growly has 100 boost. It's still in his half. That's a high risk played. And Tosses waits no time to bring us to OT.
Saw Growly keeping that ball up in the corner, and I couldn't stop myself. Why? Why on earth are you doing that? There is no benefit. Just get the ball on the ground, go OT. That's exactly what happened in the end. And now Oxalys Bunch. Off the left side. It's very awkward. They might still make it work. Nolta, the recovery is really good. He just can't get the second touch. That's an empty net to aim at for Ray. And he sends Oxalys Bunch through into the grand final of the Redirect 3v3 Monthly.
And if you look at these 6 players, you think about the establishment over here in Europe. It has been completely flipped on its head. A new organization, some new rising stars that take down the veterans.
They do. Tomio, Ray, and Nolta, they've been fighting through RLCS qualification for a couple of seasons now, but a good result here in Redirect 3v3 Monthly, especially against some of the teams that showed up at the time. Well, that's going to give them a lot of confidence, and now they can guarantee themselves at least a top 2. They will expect to go on to that grand final and take home the victory, but there are still a few teams in the competition, including Ballin, who they've just played, who can seriously cause some damage. So, an interesting one, Pegasus. A breathless Series 1. If that is a sign of things to come for the rest of the night, goodness gracious, I might need to go and stand in my fridge for a little bit while I cool down.
I miss 3v3s, but more than that, I miss the redirect 3v3s. There's just something about this stream, or something about this tournament that is just a little bit different. It's been the longest break possible between the last 2 events, but Rhino, it's certainly been worth the wait.
Oh, hasn't it just absolutely brilliant Rocket League across the board. So much fun to see everybody playing at the top level. Were there a couple of double commits? Was it chaotic? Absolutely it was. But that's why we love it. That's why we love this game. And there you go. There you have it. It will be Oxalys bunch who take their spot in the grand final with that 1 game advantage in that final series. But who will they play? That's the question. Ballin go into the lower final. We're still yet to see who will win between SniR Esports and Team 7. And I don't think we'll find that out either before we do come back. So you'll have to make sure you check it out and see who it will be.
Well, if we're looking at that last game, by the way, I just want to quickly shout out Redirect GG on TikTok, because for sure there are going to be some clips from that last series that will come out in a few months. For the moment, there is a backlog of all the content we have had over the years here at Redirect. But enough about the past. Let's focus on the present and the very near future. Siluz, Growly and Tossis will return to your screens for a lower finals bout in their final chance to achieve a spot in the grand finals to pick up this revenge against Oxalys bunch. Can some new names claim their first Redirect 3v3 title, or is it going to be familiar faces to dub against? Find out after this break.
Time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't see us strong enough, you and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough, you and I, you and I. Searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I'm looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light than
Well, the break is over. We saw the upper finals between Oxalys Bunch and Ballin, but our time was still spread out thanks to Zobas streaming his lower semi-finals. Unfortunately, will not feature in this lower finals, but we do appreciate Parade and we do appreciate the perspective as well. It was a surprising perspective, it must be said, of this upper finals, with Ballin being sent down into this lower bracket, but it should be familiar faces all the same over here on the desk. It's myself, Picasus, joined by Rhino again, and the talent just does not stop over here in Redirect.
Yeah, listen, we all needed that little bit of a breather after the last series. I think that's fair to say. So a bit of a longer break was quite welcome as we now start to look forward to that lower final to find out who will face Oxalys bunch in the grand final a little bit later on. What an outrageous series we have just seen. But we also saw some great Rocket League being played between SniR and Team 7 as well. So Ballin coming up against SniR Esports. Going to be a tough game for both teams.
Yeah, it was tough having to be a best of 3 in the first place in that lower semi-finals, but it has lined up really nicely. It's like we have had 36 monthlies of experience to make sure we get that one perfect. Ramble was a very tough team to beat beforehand as well as that Seed 5, but it's time for Seed 7 versus Seed 8. We already know that Ballin is returning to our screens, but it's more familiar names on the opposite side with SniR Esport returning to the redirect, further pedigrees with Akira, Wailu and Yokoko rounding off that roster.
Yeah, this should be a really interesting matchup, and it's really important to remember the way that SniR got here is actually really interesting. So this is a replay of the winners semi-final from just a moment ago. SniR Esports versus Ballin. Ballin went 2-0 over SniR Esports, but then in the lower bracket, SniR beat Haramble and Team 7 Esports to get here. And it's really important to remember that Haramble beat Crossbar, and Crossbar were the team that have been knocking out some of the favorites, some of the top seeds of this competition. They were the team that knocked out Nomster. So SniR Esports are not to be underestimated, and Ballin, after getting that 2-0 win earlier, they might be thinking a little bit of this game is already done before it begins.
We've already had Skyrix and Anarik in previous monthlies. We had Ray, and now we have Yokoko to add to this new breed of Moroccan talent. This one, however, not quite making it to the Nations League team. However, Wailu will actually feature for Poland. So there is going to be a capped player on that roster. Of course, Growly on the opposite side has that international experience as well. And it's tough to get those spots in those European teams with how much talent is spread across the region. But 6 of those fantastic players all come together for a redirect 3v3 monthly lower finals, which I expect to live up to all expectations.
Yeah, it's the best region in the world for a reason, Pegasus. We've got so much talent in the pool right here. So we are going to be getting into this one very, very shortly. In fact, we're going to be getting into it now. The lower final, a chance to go through to the grand final of the redirect 3v3 monthly on the line. No more lives for either of these teams. Ballin just played SniR Esports on the wave of momentum. Who's going to win?
One rematch to earn another. Ballin go to the lower bracket to the very team they knocked here before. But now there's prize pool on the line, a grand final spot, a history maker at the end of this game 5. It's interesting names, it must be said, the side of SniR Esports, and that's our absolutely favourite thing as casters, so I have my favourite.
Well, I've seen Akira. The other two might be interchangeable. We'll see how we get on. Down this left side, Growly looking for the pass. Oh my goodness, Silu's looking for top corner. Not finding it either, but early warning signs across the bow for SniR Esports.
Jug will be that last player. Don't know what other names they go by, but Silu's holds that 50. At least know that one. Tossis is blocked off for the first time of asking. Growly looks for that self-setup. Second touch is achieved. The third vote. Is it going to break through the SniR Esports defense already? You can see the pressure piled on early. Both teams certainly looking warmed up.
Yeah, now this is going to be Yokoko going over the top, looking to drop that down. Not going to happen. Growly trying to send it away, but that's only to one of the players on SniR Esport who I can't identify right now. Growly down the left side, trying his best to break the line. Has a little bit of speed in this attack, but it's not going to be enough. And now Akira breaks down, has the pass to Yokoko, off the crossbar and away.
Growly from his own third side, was looking tempting for a demo bet. SniR Esports do not manage to land it, so now it's Tossis from his own corner against I will just have to do a bit of research. Wailu is going to be that jug player. Of course, two of them have to have J's as their first letter as well. They never make it easy for us, do they? But it has been relatively smooth sailing on either side. Not a single concession to be found as we approach the end of that second minute. Still time, though, for Growly to pull off that buzzer beater. Tossis on the follow. Gives his fellow Englishman there the assist.
You know what? 60% of the time it works every time. You say that there's not been a goal for a while. Bang! Rocket League players respond. It's exactly how we got to that one. Ballin take the opener, bottom right-hand corner. SniR Esport. Well, yeah, they've not really had too much going in the offensive side, I think. Ballin looked pretty comfortable on the defense, as you were just saying. So we'll see if they can start to ramp up that pressure, ramp up the quality in offense, and now there's going to be an opportunity for Wiley to do just that, but he immediately gets put back down to the ground.
Back on for SniR. We'll try to carry this one forward. It's blocked at first. Tossis is going to be beaten away. Growly onto that left wall. Self-touch for himself. Might get a flip reset. There are two defensive options. SniR on the edge of a 6-yarder. Can't beat the final defender. It felt like that is going to be a much-needed goal for this remainder, because SniR Esport themselves have had chances, and I doubt they'll go goalless.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Still over 2 minutes to play. Tossis redirects off his own pass. Actually, Growly's going to be there, but it's a save by Wailu. And now the break is on. Chance for Akira. Not said their name too much in this opening game. Growly off the left side, off the ceiling, trying to fake it out. Play the 50. But in the end, SniR Esport do get the clearance, and actually there's a breakaway happening. A good flick. Shouldn't really come to much, but Akira has other plans. Great redirect, top left corner.
That is saucy from Akira, and the pass wasn't too bad as well from Wailu. Tossis did everything they could. SniR wasn't positioned badly either, but a space in the net is found in the most unlikely of positions.
Yeah, it certainly is. Akira trying to break through, intercepted there by Wailu. And Yukoko just going to let that one go. No, I didn't like that, sorry. As now Wailu...
I don't mind it. Too harsh on yourself, come on.
Yeah, but I'm better than that. You know, you have those moments where you're like, yeah, that's a cheap one. As SniR goes over the top. Oh my goodness, the demo comes through. Still 1-1, just over a minute to go.
Akira stopped by Growly. It's going to be awkward for Wailu here on the corner. Does have just enough time to wrap himself around even after the half flip back. Growly misses what was a clear-cut opportunity there. SniR isn't going to have as favourable of a chance. Defenders are set. Growly sent into that corner, but the demo comes through from Tossis. The time slows down for SniR Esport to get themselves out of defence. It's a great save coming from Yukoko, but I expect that pressure to continue to pile on. It's Growly.
And here he comes, getting the reset, getting over one, trying to get the bump onto the goalkeeper. SniR just going to take this ball back to his own half. Just over 30 seconds to go. The one thing that Ballin struggled with in that upper final was OTs. Well, they might not get there. That's going to be a goal from Yukoko. And SniR Esport looking to excise the demons of the upper semi-final.
This is so familiar from Ballin. It just feels like this is all their game. So much time in the opposing third. But if you can't get these countable goals alongside it, that is all for naught. Tossis to try and squeeze out some value from these final 20 seconds. Doesn't manage to get past this first player. Flip reset, lands towards SniR with the save. Back out for Yukoko, off the ceiling. No teammates there on the inside. They just have to waste time for 8 more seconds. Back out for Akira. Demo is in play. Growly, though, has to catch this ball quick. Tossis doesn't have much boost to keep it high. Growly was in the local area. SniR was positioned accordingly. But ultimately, that's a decisive result for SniR Esport. And the Ballin frustrations do not come to an end in lowers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've spoken about this before in Redirect 3v3 Monthlies. When you go from that upper final into the lower final, you've lost the momentum that you had throughout the day. You've taken that first loss. It's difficult to bring yourself back to a position where you feel like you're comfortable playing again. And Ballin don't seem to be. Obviously, they got that first goal. Here it is as well. But that came after, you know, a good minute or so of their pressure really showing against that SniR Esport backline. And then, unfortunately for them, things just started to go from bad to worse. They weren't able to get anything rolling on offense. They only had that one goal. And you rightly said halfway through the game, it doesn't look like SniR Esport are going to go goalless. They certainly didn't, and they came through with the win.
And they didn't come empty of saves either. That is 6 total for the entirety of SniR. It's that really familiar effect, actually, that we saw in that upper bracket as well, where it was pretty consistent defense coming from Oxalys' bunch. We spoke about how that isn't too reliable of a play style if the other team just add that extra bit of physicality or just find the space between the sticks. But these majority French-speaking rosters have somehow found a way.
Kira looking for a double. Oh! Fireworks on Forbidden Temple. This is gorgeous. The turn, the shot onto the backboard, but then such a difficult angle to find. Not for Akira. 1-0.
No time wasted. Ballin are sent back towards the death. And they're no strangers to offensive chances. SniR Esports still need to hold their bottle. Space is opened up, and there's going to be no recovery time. We start from square one. 17 seconds just chipped away.
Yeah, good bump on the backlines as well. Akira tried to stay in the play, but nothing you can do when that snowplow comes out. And that's going to be 1-1. Ballin, doesn't matter how that goal went in. They really needed it for their confidence, and now they need to just try and settle things down a little bit. Silu's looking to do just that. No reset to be found, though, and that should be the clearance coming through.
Dosis calls off Growly. First challenge came in there. Growly off the ceiling. Wants to beat past Akira. Doesn't happen. Still remains in these corners, and there isn't much pressure to find here unless you can find a teammate inside. Instead, it's all orange cards, a flip reset to escape the position. I like that confidence off the back of Tosis, but there wasn't much resources behind him to make sure but a counter-attack wasn't on. Either way, escaping with their lives, we remain at the deadlock.
Yeah, SniR, though, going over the top again. That one's going to be awkward to deal with for the Ballin defense, but no one goes up to challenge of a SniR Esport Persuasion. Reset found, nothing more. Extra touch from Yukoko. Probably not what he was wanting. Certainly wasn't wanting to be demoed out of the play. Growly gets past one, fakes a second out, and now Yukoko back in and searching for blood. Akira, no, not playing that forwards. It's really awkward aerial plays from SniR Esport right now. They just need to calm things down, maybe play a little bit more on the ground. That's what Yukoko's going to try and do here, but he gets blocked away.
We've lacked an offensive initiative. This could be the moment, though. Taken to the skies by Akira. Growly makes that block the ceiling. The demos come through as well. We're just put back to this neutral spot, and neutral spots all seem to favour Ballin, though they've not found the back of the net, and as a cost, it's 2v1. Growly, though, holds his own.
Yeah, he does. Again, watching for that. What on earth was that? That's a great save as well. The counter-attack is there, and that will do. SniR Esport turned defense into offense in the blink of an eye. Ballin wondering how they've not converted.
It's a series of fortunate events for SniR Esports. Reaction time was there. And it's another one that's just going to have Ballin scratching the top of their heads, wondering what could we have done better there? They were all out of position. All we felt like we had to do was find the shot on target. But SniR Esports just had that X factor. And now it's Yukoko on the inside. Tosis has had to go for the big booming clear. And that's just to alleviate a second of pressure. Now to plant some of their own. But SniR Esports, you doubt they can feel it.
Yeah, you do. That clearance away from Akira for a teammate. Silu chops it down. Ballin going to be really concerned if this game doesn't go their way. It's a difficult road back from 2-0 down in a best of 5. Tosis going back towards his own half, trying to get something going. Ball played forwards, but without really any rhyme or reason. Just tried to find a spot on the field, it looks like, without any of the opposition in it. Did find that, but yeah, you kind of need a second step to that plan if you're going to do it.
Horizon does have a B plan on his right-hand side. Have teammates available, though Silu's Make sure to rip up the blueprints right in front of him. Tosses with a team bump there from Ballin. There's a disapproving sound coming from Rhino, and I can't blame you.
Yeah. You don't like to see those double commits, certainly in the middle of the field when they can call away. And now, eventually, they get it to halfway at least.
I'm dumbfounded how they have achieved survival for so long in every game they play. But it's not just SniR, it's anyone, frankly, who has gone up against Ballin on this stream so far. It has... Oh my goodness, hold on. Psycho from Growly. Found a lot of power, but unfortunately found Wailu as well. Siluz holds it down in the corner. Will take it back for himself. Growly is there on the backboard. Doesn't happen. It is sent over. Yukoko does get a touch, and we are back live, thank goodness. Growly doesn't get any options on the inside, but that takeoff was awful.
Yeah, it was. Now this is going to be Yukoko trying to get something again. SniR Esport, they've just kind of turtled up since getting that second goal. And now the strike happens. It's going to be off that left-hand side. And eventually Wailu does get the third goal, which is going to give SniR Esport all of the benefits that they were looking for. 6 seconds remain, 2 goals to find. I think they're on grand final point, Pegasus.
I'm just reaching a point where I don't know what more I want to ask for out of Ballin. It almost feels like they are doing 99% of the game correct, but when it comes to crossing that final line or preventing those few and far between counter-attacking opportunities that are coming from the opposite end, it just hasn't happened for them. That being said, you want to talk about moments teams, it's been both of the opponents they've had to play.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, this is pretty, I am surprised about how this game has gone based on how Ballin were playing in that upper bracket final. I thought they would come through with a little bit more aggression, a little bit more offense really to speak of, and not to say they've not been in the offensive third, they absolutely have, but their attack has been toothless. There's not really been any shots taken on the SniR Esport net that I've gone, oh yeah, that's a really dangerous opportunity. This was nuts. How SniR Esport score off the back of that, don't get me wrong, that is a turning point of the matchup. But since then, you know, that was 2 or 3 minutes where didn't really see too much come out from Ballin, and they need to change that going into game 3.
One factor that's really surprising me about Ballin, especially when you look at the 3 players on that roster, Siluz, Growly, and Tossis, they have an individual play in them. Every single one of them. And we just have not seen that at all this series. We saw a few glimmers of that in the upper finals. It's been completely flat here in lowers. And when that, I dubbed it earlier, X Factor has been the difference, Ballin just hasn't had that. They played good Rocket League, but good Rocket League isn't enough anymore to win a Redirect 3v3 monthly. We're in the 36th installment, and the competition has increased.
Yeah, it really has! And Akira might have actually scored quicker than they did in that first game. Or second game, I should say. Double tap off the top. It's not quite as flashy, but SniR Esport have something to hold on to now.
It's a very early goal out of this first game, but that actually is a repetition of what we saw in the last as well. Ballin already put on the back foot, could be doubled up off the backboard. It's a great read from Yukoko. The wheels are off the wagon, but it's been SniR Esports who loosened all the gears.
Yeah, the mentals just seem to have completely gone from Ballin. They've started this game 3 in the worst possible way. The good news for them is that there is still a long time left. There's still a lot of time on the clock. So a goal in the next kind of minute or 2 would still give them an opportunity, but they have to lock down the defense. They cannot allow SniR Esport to score another goal before they do. And there's an opportunity for Wailu. Out of this right-hand side, Yukoko from the corner. Nothing more to do there.
Icon or Akira, flip reset, might get the second pops high, but Siluz is unchallenged for this clearance. The second touch makes that even better. Tosses is high, but Yukoko for the pre-jump only kept it out temporarily. That was almost another masterful defense, but it is better positioned from Growly. You cannot allow SniR Esports to get away with that.
No, you can't. It's what I was just talking about a moment ago. They had to score the next goal. They had to make sure they stayed in this game, and maybe the equalizer not going to be there. Akira makes sure of that, but yeah, really much better work from Ballin, but SniR should really have been able to deal with it. Oh my goodness! How has Akira kept that one out? Ballin still chasing the equalizer, and it's not going to come there.
Back to Akira. It's a great first touch to Musty. Is even better chance to follow up of this backboard. It's stolen away by Wailu. I would be throwing hands with my teammate, but regardless, it's a goal all the same. SniR Esports double their lead.
You say you'd be throwing hands with your teammate. You still work with Hazard, and he's definitely done that to you multiple times.
I do it to him. I'm going to be so real.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it goes back and forth, doesn't it? It goes back and forth. Now, Silu's looking for the pass down. Cleared away, and Akira trying to get on the end of this one. It will be eventually cleared away by Wailu, but not too much further. SniR Esports still with a good opportunity. That pass inside should be the recipe for a way back in for Ballin.
Great power from Tossis, and we've seen this, haven't we? So many times, especially when they've competed in APAC. High ping, no problems, just able to get those slap shots from deep tets to keeper. Sometimes it leads to those heavy clearances out, and if you have a team that are good on the rotation, as Growly and Siluz have started to find, it can be so dangerous, but why not skip all those steps?
Why not? Yeah, just go straight to scoring a goal. That's all you need to do. Get the ball in the back of the net. It's a simple game, really. Siluz off this left-hand side looking for an opportunity. It's not going to happen for him. And now, shot on from Yukoko. Cleared away on the goal line by Ballin, but you expect this pressure to remain from SniR Esport, and that's exactly what it will do. Tossis, last back, 45 boost, gets demoed out of his mind, and the redirect isn't really going to cause too much trouble.
Tossis. Reset to carry through. Horizon. The get back touch in the center, but a secondary ball goes to Growly. Almost a secondary touch as well. Instead, Wailu to carry forward. Will challenge out Tossis. Yukoko had the high angle thrown, but defensively, it's Wailu again that's been called to action. Jumped extremely early, but Yukoko filled that space well.
Yeah, now back down the other side, SniR Esport. Oh, there's a demo on the goal line. Another demo. 2 players taken out for Ballin. The pass middle is too heavy. And Ballin will be able to clear their lines. SniR Esport starting to just ramp up that aggression a little bit. They don't need to score the next goal. They're 3-2 up on series point, but they want to. They feel the need to. And I absolutely respect that. Make sure you lock yourselves into the grand final before your opponents take the chance to knock you out.
Wailu has 50 this one against Tossis. Siluz already up, shot on target. 2 plays at the front post, but it's Yukoko's call to action first. Wailu picks up a second as Yukoko again for the clearance. SniR Esports with this game of survival. 2 touches. Growly can't escape with a goal. Instead, it's Tossis to re-tie up all of the lassos around the SniR Esports defense. But somehow it's escape after escape after escape. That's one huge mistake, but a second player is there.
Yeah, the mental starting just to play on the minds of SniR Esport, maybe. Couple of mistakes coming through. Ballin, smell blood in the water. And now, Yukoko does really well to break past 2. Flicks it forwards, will be demoed for the trouble. And the goal won't come through, but I tell you it will now. Wailu off the left-hand side could have just sent SniR Esports to the grand final.
Puts themselves in pole position to take that lower bracket qualifying spot. It's been a very strange day at the office for Ballin, but they can make it even odder if they find a comeback. 50 though. Not going to find any fellow blue cars. Siluz though gets it back towards Growly, but Yukoko knocks it into the corner. Tosses has no options to find, doesn't even get a touch themselves. SniR Esports have been whittling down his clock. Defense has already been put to the test, and I expect that they're going to pass with flying colours once more, but a fifth of the road wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, you expect that, but once again, tonight so far in Redirect, it's been expect the unexpected. Though unexpected does not mean impossible, and now that's exactly what it is. Wyloo off the left side, just under the crossbar. Crowley's gone from the game. He doesn't want to see anything more. And with 10 seconds to go and 3 seconds to find it, that is the end of your lower bracket final. SniR Esports will go on to face Oxalys bunch.
Oh, 2v2 time. I thought for a second there, not going to happen. And, oh, hold on. I'm down for it. Psycho attempt, second touch. A little bit high. SniR Esports, though, finally get to see that wonderful hype chamber. It is a sweeping result for them. That's harsh on Ballin. I mean, 1 and 6 out of a bracket on the mainstream with a performance that I don't want to say didn't expect that, but it certainly felt unlikely if you were taking it at 1 minute pockets.
Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with you. It was weird. There was something missing in that Ballin performance, I have to say. Right the way through the series, every single time I was just looking at it thinking, there's another gear to find. There's another level that they could go up here that they just never really reached. And is that down to what happened in that upper final? Is that down to complacency after that 2-0 win in the upper bracket? I just don't know. I just don't know, and only the players will know that themselves. But take nothing away from SniR Esport, because they looked absolutely brilliant. Every bit of the team that we promised that they could be. Akira, Wyloo, Yukoko, you've declared them as next up in the scene. Well, we're going to see who really is next up in this grand final coming up next. I'm excited about that.
We have guaranteed again another mostly French-speaking grand final after that lower finals as well, but that is just the way that Europe works over here. There is one region that dominates. I should say actually one language that dominates, because Morocco have really gotten their representation. But what a run this is from SniR Esports, by the way. Losing to Team 7 beating Team 7 in Game 3, losing to Ballin in a sweep, then beating Haramble, then beating Team 7 again in another Game 3, then getting revenge on Ballin in a sweep, looking like a completely different roster, and now getting that Grand Finals versus Oxalys bunch. That is thoroughly deserved.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is, especially based on the way they played in that previous game, and I'm sure Oxalys bunch would have been watching that lower bracket final to see all of the information that they could gain from their opponents coming through. And I think the information is stay on your toes. This is going to be a tricky one.
Yes, it certainly is. And well, when the Redirect 3v3 monthlies first begun, it was a bunch of pickup teams brought together to prove themselves at the top of the European bubble. But for this grand finals, it is fully stacked with French organisations and younger players that have surpassed those that have made European main events and more. National caps will be spread across this pitch as well, but most importantly, they've got that shot to name themselves a Redirect 3v3 monthly champions. We will crown some more soon, ladies and gentlemen, after the break. for the second time on this stream, and unfortunately there will be no thirds for Charm. Double elimination bracket saw an early elimination for Ballin, though SniR Esport earned their revenge in that matchup and now achieve qualification into that grand final. With that, two teams have guaranteed themselves £30 of the £100 prize pool, but if you want to over double your earnings in this competition and of course have a pedigree of calling yourself a redirect 3v3 champion, well then there is still more work left to be done right now.
There is, but there is a little bit less work for one of the teams to do as we look at the bracket. Coming from that upper bracket, it's going to be Oxalys Bunch, who already starts with a 1-0 advantage. This has been a discussion point in Redirects Monthlies ever since we started. It will be a discussion point in Redirect Monthlies for as long as we continue these tournaments. But Oxalys Bunch, you just get the feeling if they can take home that game number one, they're in such a promising position to go on and win the tournament. Now, of course, the opposite is true. If SniR Esport can take the momentum that they've gained from sweeping Ballin just a moment ago, then we will see a very interesting grand final, that is for sure. But two young teams, two teams exciting to watch. I just hope we don't get a game similar to the game that we got at in the very first game of our first game of the day.
It's a tough one to predict as well, but you can actually have your crack at it with predictions open in the Redirect Esports chat. If you want to gamble some of your channel points, if you live in a country that allows that, please do. We like to see it. We like to get an idea of what you guys think, because here on the desk, I'm really stuck in making a decision between these two teams, both extremely talented in their own right, both, of course, French speaking, so we can't even use that as a bit of a tiebreaker, and both representing organizations as well. Rhino, why don't you take it away to give us our upcoming roster?
Here we go then, your grand final of the Redirect 3v3 Monthly number 36 is going to be Oxalys Bunch taking on SniR Esports. Tomio, Ray, and Nolta taking on Akira, Wailu, and Ukoko.
It's a very similar formation for both of these teams, with a Frenchman and a Moroccan rounded out by another nation to add. Nolta and Wailu will look to be the difference for their respective teams, though I believe Nolta does reside in France as well. So it's also going to be low ping for the likes of Tomio, Nolta, and Akira, with a lot of those lobbies based in Paris. But I feel like I'm getting in an SSA and an APAC spin now, Rhino. That shouldn't matter here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're so used to talking about the ping and players not playing in region, but when you play in EU, it very rarely matters all that much. So here we go then. These are the two teams that are taking to the field. If that changes your prediction at all, well, make sure to put your money where your mouth is. That channel point prediction is live, and make sure that you let us know who you think is going to take it. Pegasus, I think it's about time on these panels that we made a little prediction as well, don't you think? I think it's about time that we ask the question. What are you thinking? Where are you going?
I'm trying to think back to some of the previous 3v3 monthlies, and I want to say that Ukoko might have not gotten a win yet, but they have had chances in these grand finals. So this could be the time to finally get one. And I'm not going for them. I'm going to go for Oxalys Bunch. I really liked what I saw from Tomio, Ray, and Nolta. In many ways, these are two very similar rosters. So for that, I am actually putting a lot of emphasis in that weighted advantage.
Interesting. I like the idea. I appreciate what you're saying. Oxalys Bunch coming in very, very strong. But Pegasus, there is one thing I like to consider when I'm making my predictions, and that's a little thing called Rocket League maths. Oxalys Bunch beat Ballin 3-1. SniR Esport beat Ballin 3-0. So for that reason, you absolutely can't argue with that. Give me SniR Esports, Akira, Wailu, and Yukoko. And by the way, just before we go in, thank you so much for the raid, Greybeard. The SSA 1v1s are finished. You are the absolute GOAT. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for some SSA action. But right now, you have tuned in at the best possible time. It's the grand finals of the Redirects 3v3 monthly number 36. Oxalys bunch of Tomio, Ray, and Nolta taking on SniR Esports of Akira, Wailu, and Yukoko. For one final time today, let's go!
3 years worth of the Redirects 3v3 monthlies. This is number 36. This is a milestone to edge yourself in its rich history. 2 organizations also enter the frame, both reigning, of course, from the Premier region for the RLCS. It's Oxalys Bunch versus SniR Esports.
Saying that when we've just had a raid from SSA is criminal from you, by the way. Absolutely criminal. Nolta making his way through, gets the reset over the top of one, saved away by Yukoko, and we do have the actual names for SniR Esport now on the field. I used to pray for times like this.
Absolutely. We did put the request in and they were extremely nice about it, and that's what you love to see. Akira shot on, might see his name flashed up. Instead, it's going to be Yukoko for the first.
Here we go. This is exactly what we're looking for. Nice and quick start. Akira with a really smart turn on the ball. Plays it across the goal line, and Tomio can't do enough to get this one away. So 1-0. Go SniR Esport with 30 seconds played. This one is going to be high scoring, folks. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
And you mentioned free space on the Redirects 3v3 monthly bingo card, and that's the importance of the first game of the best of 7 weighted grand final. SniR Esports have lived up to that so far, but we know how high scoring these 2 teams can get. Yukoko clashes with Ray. Nolta takes it towards the skies, flip reset, has an awkward ball, but still finds the angle.
Yeah, look at this. Nolta off the left-hand side. Gets a reset. The bump on the goal line is exactly what they're looking for. Yukoko can't get the other side of the sphere, and that is going to do it for us. Just under 60 seconds gone. All square, 1-1.
Tomio breaks through on the kickoff. Wailu, though, is local in this corner. Just a bump as well, and that gives him the extra second to tip that ball across towards Akira. No boost needed. Just a heavy touch forward for either one of his teammates to pounce on. Instead, Oxalys Bunch send it deep. That's just pure SniR Esports possession. They'll try and keep it between their own players, but Nolta does well to intercept.
Yeah, really nice as well. Yukoko now going back and not being given the time of day by Oxalys Bunch. Ray off the backboard, not said his name too much in the first 90 seconds. We will expect that to change as we get further in the series. Tomio, left-hand side, has a man ahead but doesn't have any boost to work with, so requires help. That's Ray. Now Nolta tries to play it up to Ray. Can't do so. And Oxalys Bunch still trying to keep the pressure on. You see some early jumps again. Ooh. Ray up the backboard, not looking comfortable. But luckily, Oxalys Bunch get back in time.
Tomio hung in a really nice area there where he was hedging his bet somewhat, but sometimes that can be the difference maker. Certainly has been in this defense. Still trying to find a passage of escape. Nolta off that sidewall gets it right back to Tomio. Wailu, though, is going to reset the play entirely. It has felt like a lot of SniR Esports possession. Oxalys Bunch trying to play the recovery, but Ray has lost connection there, and that does temporarily outnumber them. Not a great spot to be in. SniR Esports still on the equal, will take the goal, and that was expected with the player advantage. Nolta calls for a pause as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So SniR Esport, they do get the goal, but the pause has been called for, and so we will respect it. Ray, as you rightly said, has disconnected there, so it's unfortunate for Oxalys Bunch. We've seen it happen a couple of times in redirects before. Tough. Really tough. What I will say is SniR Esport took advantage of that really, really well. Using that numbers advantage that they had, getting the bump on the goal line, and it does seem to be that, you know, things. Well, okay, we are going to wait a little bit because we have got Ray back in. We're just going to wait and see what the ruling here is. So,
Yeah.
by the same token, I think it's a fair a fair disputation, if that's even a word.
Yes.
Ray obviously did go off the field before the goal was scored, so I would be
Way
surprised if this didn't get chalked off.
Yeah, absolutely. The option has been given by admin, producer, observer, absolutely every single role possible from Hazza, and the players of Oxalys bunch have agreed to dispute that, and I would say that should be a goal chalked off as well. Not a single word has been said by any of the SniR Esport players, but not really sure how much they can really contribute here. I mean, it was obvious that was a very, very, very big change in timing, and it has been confirmed. We are going to be starting from roughly the 2-minute 50 mark. We were sitting on around 2 minutes 29 there. The goal has been brought back, and we will stay on that equal scoreline. You don't want to decide a grand final that way, do you, Rhino? And it won't be.
No, absolutely not. We want to see it competed fairly by both teams, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're back at kickoff. 2 minutes 50 to play. Oxalys bunch still level with SniR Esport after that dispute. And now Ray with the reconnect with the extra goal. Well, that's going to feel a little bit bad for SniR Esport after everything that's just happened. But Ray goes through, bundles the ball over the line, and it's 2-1.
Welcome back. Pleasure to meet you. Ray has returned, and that is a fantastic way to reintroduce himself. SniR Esports on the deficit. Our challenge again. It's Ray once more. Just outside the box is kept out. Tomio plays it off that back wall. Yokoko will clear, but Oxalys bunch have a bit of fire in their belly.
Yeah, they do. Nolta now down the right-hand side, given to his teammate. Opportunity for a double from Tomio. Crossbar is hit twice. And now Yokoko down this left-hand side. Will be an opportunity. Double commit from Oxalys bunch. We know that's going to happen a few more times this series. Yokoko over the top. Hit away by Ray.
Tomio pre-dumped that one pretty early, and unfortunately didn't get a calculations in place. Tomio will challenge again. It's towards his own net. Gets 2 touches. Almost sets up Akira nicely. Instead, Wailu will take charge of the corner. Tomio rips it right back. This is an unbelievable level of ball chasing, but it has somewhat worked. Yokoko escapes, and Nolta clears to the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you call it bad if it works? That's the question. Teammates getting in each other's way there. Ball played backwards. Opportunity for Yokoko. Pass to Wailu. Tomio, huge interception, and now the counter. Off the backboard. No, doesn't need it. Tomio with the control through the air. Limited boost, but 0 problems. That is wonderful. 3-1.
Well, there's a player that stood out in the last 45 seconds for their pace on the pitch. Of course, it's Tomio. And they're just a beat ahead of the rest of the competition. 2 goals ahead to put on top of that. Here's Tomio again. Flip reset catch. Nolta did commit to this play as well. That puts him in an extremely dangerous spot, but recovery is in time, and Ray will reset with 100.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get that reset though. And now Akira sending it away, who was really the linchpin for SniR Esport in that lower final. Want to see more from them in this one. And Akira trying to get that redirect. Doesn't really get it to work. Nolta takes a shot. Too powerful. Goes just left of the mark. It will be Wailu to try and send it away. But with 40 seconds to go, Oxalys bunch, they are camping in SniR Esports half.
Tomio is stopped by Akira. Knocks it high. Nolta wants to send this one down. Instead, it's Wailu with a corner. Fakes it away for Akira. Yokoko is an option in the box as well. Looking in a good spot, but the interception is there from Oxalys bunch. The demo is landed, but it hasn't improved the position yet. Have to work their way back up to get this ball in the box. Instead, it pinches through. That's on target. What on earth was that from the Kosovo?
Well, that's not one they would have drawn up. That's certainly not a set piece. But it's going to work out for them. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck in these grand finals. SniR Esport have called for next, but to be honest, you've still got to play out the next 13 seconds. The game is the game.
Yeah.
Nolta, reset, top shelf, no, cleared away by Wailu. Tomio will take this one back towards his own half. The game is done. The ball needs to drop. An opportunity maybe for SniR Esports to get a little bit of momentum into game number 2, but it's not going to happen. Oxalys bunch take that game, and listen, there is going to be a very small little drawn asterisk on the side of that one, given the situation that we saw earlier in the game. But when you lose 4-1, there can't be that much of an asterisk, can there?
No, absolutely not. Oxalys bunch do what they do best. They look like they're the team getting pressured, and then all of a sudden the scale completely tips. They have these incredible moments out of nowhere. I mean, that first goal from Nolta is amazing, but wait until you see the final one that this team managed to score. It's a wonderful setup from Tomio as well. They just struggle to score a boring goal, but there's one thing being able to, you know, freestyle on all of your opponents. It's somehow turning that into a competitive advantage as well, and they found that balance, and it is wonderful to watch as a neutral.
Oh, it's so much fun to watch. You're absolutely right. Oxalys bunch, they've really captured the heartstrings of us here on the desk during this event, and now, well, they might be capturing their first Redirect 3v3 monthly title. This team was only formed, as far as we know, yesterday for Oxalys bunch. And now, well, they might be adding to the trophy cabinet early.
Nolta actually getting that ball. There's Akira. Oh, from the defense, Wailu is clearing up a bunch of space. Ray is going to get 2 touches. No psycho attempts, though. Instead, Nolta just wants to send this one wing to wing. That felt more like a time waster, just to allow the 2 teammates to settle. It has settled nicely. Loops across. I thought for a second that one was on target, but it just wasn't meant to be. Instead, it's Ray. Flip reset, blocked by Akira.
Surprised Nolta didn't get a touch there on either the man or the ball. Really seemed like he was going to. Nolta catches, just trying to play that 50 again, but Ray not up quickly enough. That's not a sentence I will say very much in this grand final. But that redirect, goodness gracious. He might not have been quick, but he certainly found the precision. And the pass from Tomio is nice. The finish from Ray is better, 1-0.
Can I admit something to you right now?
Admit it, go on.
I thought the colours were flipped there. When Ray was back, I thought that was a known goal, because why on earth would there be an offensive player and not a defensive player in that position? Why was it completely open for him, though? We're not going to get those questions answered, though. I'll throw another, which still has time. Can SniR Esports respond? They have to, because they are 2 games behind at the grand final.
They are, and that demo's not going to help matters. Have seen them fight back, though, SniR. Don't mind a 1-0 deficit. It's when that number climbs is when things start to get a little bit tense. Opportunity for Tomio. He gets the bump. Nolta not taking the shot. I don't know if I could agree with that decision, but that angle's found. Wailu makes a brilliant save to keep SniR only 1 behind.
Akira tries to keep this ball at the centre. Both teams constantly clashing at that midfield line. You see the odd fray opportunity towards the target, but they're short-lived. We're not seeing much maintained pressure, assembly lines of strikes on the target. It's just not been one of those games. Yokoko, though, could find that for SniR. Instead, Oxalys take it back for themselves again. Yeah,
Ray, no boost to find, so has to go to the back corner. Wailu drops it down. Oh my goodness, the pass missed by everyone. Oxalys bunch survive. It's been a long period of possession and progression for SniR Esport. But without anything to show for it, they are pushed back now to their own half. You don't want to send Ray up to the ceiling. The things he can do from there is crazy. And now off this right-hand side, Akira gets an extra touch. Moved forwards by Yokoko, not towards net. Wailu, left side, met by Nolta.
Back on for Ray. Shot on, blocked by Akira. We've seen a lot of high scorers so far in today's games. This has certainly not been one of them. And of course, it's when pressure's piled on here for the grand final. SniR Esports need to find an opening. They're still behind in this game. Wailu has completely missed his flip. As Nolta takes it high, still has a chance for a second touch. Ray takes it forward for himself. It's 2 touches again, but it's still in this corner. That's not the space you're looking for. It's created, but Yokoko saves.
And Tomio pushing forwards as third man once again. This is something that Oxalys bunch are so keen to do. And Nolta off the left side. That's going to do it. 2-0, 1 minute 27. Wonderful from Nolta. The reset is good, but the finish is even better.
Caught off of that front post. Too many players committed. And they were both facing their own boost corners as well. That doesn't set you up nicely if Oxalys bunch recognize that spot, and of course they do.
Absolutely they do. Out of the corner, Ray want to turn on this ball. No, double poster now. SniR Esport given a lifeline.
Back onto Yokoko. Nolta does make that save, but time is running out for SniR Esports. They're going to hear that horn. They're going to look just at the top of their screens here. See 2 goals down. Recognize how much possession has been traded between these two teams, but there's just been a difference in quality. Tomio could show us exactly what he has to offer. And with that, the Moroccan is gone on the opposing team.
Yeah, this is lovely from Tomio. Double touch off the left-hand back wall. Just beyond that post. No calls for a pause. And Yokoko gets back, but, well, not in the lobby, which is an interesting decision. 37 seconds to play, and it will be played out, as SniR Esport found out after game 1. Oxalys bunch, I'm pretty sure it is confirmed now, will be 1 game win away from being declared Redirect 3v3 champions. There's another... Oh my goodness, Tomio wanted another goal, wanted to do a little bit of stat padding. It's not happening for him this time. 10 seconds, someone stop playing in the background. That's going to be this game done. There you go, Tomio does get the stat pad in the end.
And Akira is not happy that extra time is being added to the clock. Oh, never mind, it was a misclick. There we go, that's very... kind of him to correct himself there, but I do expect that SniR Esports, and especially Yokoko, is going to get a stern talking to after this game, because it's not over. Of course, this tournament is ran by Redirect, and just a bit of respect, you have to play out all of these games. But Oxalys bunch, the time where there was all 6 players on the pitch, very impressive, extremely strong. Just the way they're able to squeeze out goals from very equal plays is something that we saw in the upper finals, but feels like it's been given that extra push here in Grands.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's very impressive to see how Oxalys bunch are working. I still want to see those double commits be less frequent. This is still a problem that they have moving through from that upper final. Nonetheless, this is some of the most exciting offense we've seen for a very, very long time. The way that they're able to hit these double touches, not just that, the way they're able to make space for these plays that you're seeing, it's so awesome. It's so cool to watch. They're really good at being able to break teams down who are going for those early challenges. If SniR Esport were to sit back a little bit more and kind of defend that goal line, I wonder how Oxalys bunch would be able to deal with that. The fact is they're not. And Oxalys bunch are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and Tomio, Ray, and Nolta, what a team they have been. Tomio has definitely been the linking player for all of these 3, of course, having teams with both in individual instances, but now that they are all under one roof with Oxalys bunch, this has formed a bit of a powerhouse, which I expect to extend out of a Redirect 3v3 monthlies as well.
Yep, I think it's fair to say that I do as well. Clearly an organization with an eye on next season, or certainly the LCQs. You'd expect this trio to be there in the next couple of weeks. So the clearance will be coming through here from Oxalys bunch. Ray looking to go low. Just play that patient game as well. See what the defense is giving you. In the end, they didn't give him anything.
Ballin wants that bump on Ray, doesn't land. Coco somehow hits that one into Ray. Clay pigeon shooting.
Yeah, something like that. That's for sure. Tomio over on this near side. Yukoko onto the ceiling, looking for a reset. Doesn't get one. Ray well positioned to get that clearance away. Oh my goodness, it's Bump City in SniR Esport half. Eventually they clear the ball.
Akira has options on the inside, but Oxalys bunch also really crowding this position. There are so many times where I look at the way Oxalys bunch are positioned and I just think there is no way that they can get away with this.
What?
But they've just got a way of mastering the finer angles. What a pre-jump from Ray. It lands down to Nolta. And this is the most Oxalys bunch play of the night.
How does that go in? How does that go in? There's 2 cars there from SniR Esport. I asked the question in between games, what happens if they sit on their goal line? We've just got our answer. Oxalys bunch score anyway. The lead in the game that could give them the championship, and they double their lead as well. No, It's the post.
Back up high. Akira towards Ray, gets this one off the ceiling. Tomio wants the double tap. Could have acted as an assist. Still gets an extra touch to do it, but Nolta has been pounced on by that time. Tomio for the demo. That's devious, but that pinch is menacing for Oxalys as well.
A little bit of a miscommunication because the player just pulled away from that opportunity. Didn't realize the demo was coming through, or maybe didn't want to overextend as well. Maybe I'll give the credit in that sense, as Oxalys bunch know that if the scoreline remains, that's a pre-jump. That's Tomio. Oh, they're starting to move now, aren't they?
It just continues to pile up. It's a style we're getting used to now. With only 2 series we've watched off these 3 talents. And it's not like they've gone the distance, Rhino. It's not like we've had that extra time. It has been a quick, brisk introduction to not only the Redirect 3v3 monthly stream, but also Europe as a whole. But Yukoko has also featured on numerous occasions. Could this be the time? It'll have to happen with a reverse sweep.
Yeah, you can't count this team out, especially based on what they did in that previous game that we saw from them. Oxalys bunch playing well, but SniR Esport have had opportunities. There is another one, and here might be another one. Yukoko going through. Ray gets the clearance, but a demo onto Ray. How dare you even touch the ball? Nolta to Tomio. The chemistry between these 2 is second to none, and the clearance will come through for SniR. Not all the way. Now Yukoko, Bonnet on ball, but no, Ray gets a good challenge.
Wailu. That's Tomio one. Wailu gets that challenge again. Ray and Tomio are doubled up in that corner. Leaves a big job here for Akira. Needs support. Yukoko is there to provide. The ball sticks towards this wing. Wailu will give us a change of scenery as we enter the other side, but feels all the same. Demo will help open up the space, but Tomio, we know how good he is on these chases.
Thought maybe he was going to go for it there. He didn't end up doing so. Nolta now just trying to be a nuisance. Trying to bite at the ankles of SniR Esports defense. Ball up high. Yukoko blocks it away. Nolta has enough boost to deal with it and gets it over the top of Akira as well. A difficult job. Demo comes through onto Yukoko. Ray has an opportunity to take possession here. Just too heavy a touch. Stays with it though. Clearance onto the far side. Tomio's going to move forwards. Reads it really nicely. What a catch that is. Tomio over to the right side. Cleared away by SniR.
Oh, what a second touch. Akira for the double tap. Comes off the crossbar. What a way SniR Esports could have returned to this grand finals. Instead, that double tap doesn't quite get the power that's needed. Challenges continue to pile on. Yukoko doesn't have the answers. Tomio has the touch. The bump is not enough to disrupt the follow-up touch either. Everything just seems to be falling Oxalys bunch's way in this prickly defense.
Yeah, mentality check time. Can SniR Esports find a way through? It's panicky defending from Oxalys bunch, but it works in the end. Tomio looks for the counter. It's not powerful enough. SniR Esports have another opportunity, but Nolta stops them at the pass. Backboard found. No one helping. I'm not surprised. 2-1 up. 16 seconds to go. Oh, it's hit the post. No way. SniR Esports' chance to stay in this grand final has just been ripped away from them by the sound of a ding. And now it looks for all the world that Oxalys bunch are your redirect 3v3 number 36 champions.
Ray, Tomio, and Nolta join the Redirect Hall of Fame. And along that, there's an organisation to match as well. Oxalys bunch, for the first time with a team they picked up only yesterday, collect their first trophy.
That last 20 seconds will go down in Redirect history. What a ridiculous few moments of Rocket League we just had. But Oxalys bunch, well, they wouldn't have wanted to win it in any other way, would they? Look at this freebie for Akira, who's been lights out all day long. I said at the start it was a mentality check. They didn't pass. Oxalys bunch take the win.
I just want to know how Ray felt in that moment. I know what on earth. For a second there, he thought he'd thrown away the game, potentially threw away the championship, but it just was not meant to be. That post hit just helped match the chaos that was provided from that initial miss hit. That was incredible. That was such an excellent return for the Redirect 3v3 monthlies after quite the hiatus. But we still keep them coming once a month with new champions being added. Europe, Rhino, has so much talent, and it's not due to lack of competition either. We had established talents here fall way earlier in the brackets.
Yeah, we did. We mentioned right at the start of this broadcast that this is an opportunity for some of the young guns, for some of the people who are trying to make a name for themselves, for some of the next up to be able to take to the field and beat some of the teams that maybe normally they wouldn't be able to. But with everyone preparing for LCQ, with everyone gearing up for that big tournament coming up in July, this is so amazing to see. This is some of the most high-level Rocket League we've seen on the Redirect monthly streams ever. And whether you can say that it's because of that, whether you can say a multitude of different things, what I can say is that every single player on these two teams, they're going to be talked about as next up going into next year.
And I hope that they do stick together. Of course, there is that LCQ opportunity to play against top competition, and I hope that I see Oxalys bunch and SniR Esports on those start GG brackets. But over here at Redirect, we have our own brackets to make. So with Redirect 3v3 monthly number 37 getting prepared for next month, typically those sign-ups will open on the day after a given event. So those should come out tomorrow. Of course, we've got a wide range of socials as well for Redirect, where you can keep up to date with all of the action that you may have missed from one of those streams. That is the likes of TikTok, that is the likes of YouTube, that is the like of Instagram as well, Twitter on top of that. Most of those, I believe, are Redirect GG. But also, I want to give a thanks to our community broadcaster for the day. We only do uppers, lowers, and grands, Rhino, but we love actually so much. I know we're doing some of his streams beforehand. Gosh, he's a talented player himself, but that's more in the booth. Reach out for him if you want any opportunities.
Yeah, and an excellent commentator, not just for Rocket League, but he also does some CS as well. So if your organization wants some CS work, then you could do much worse than speaking to Zachary, and he will be at Epicland in July as well, which I'm very excited to be with him for as well. So keep your eyes out for that one. But I think we're going to have to start shutting this one down, Pegasus, as I'll give a little bit of my spiel. Please follow me everywhere, all socials, except for Instagram. That's a garbage one, but everything else at RhinoCasts11 down below. You guys can go and find me everywhere that you want. Now, I wouldn't normally do this, but I do have to just say I am 13 followers away on my Twitch from 1,000 followers. It would mean so much to me if you could go over to my Twitch and hit that follow button if you are not already, because yeah, I mean, hitting that milestone would be absolutely crazy. So if you could take a moment out of your day to go and do that, I would be very, very grateful. Thank you so much. Pegasus, anything to end us off?
It's a share stream, by the way, so easy access to Rhino's Twitch. You have absolutely zero excuses regarding that. But for myself, it is Pegasus on all socials except for Instagram, because I agree that is such a trash social media for casters. But it is great if you want to catch up with a Redirect 3v3 monthly action. But one final shout out, of course, goes to the man, the myth, the legend, the everything. It is, of course, HazardProd, producer, owner of Redirects. His Twitter is at HazardProd, and if you want to reach out for any inquiries there, well, it's very easy access. But that will be it for Redirect Monthly number 36. It has been a long road to get to this point, thanks to the hard work of all of the players that sign up, of course the viewers that all show up here as well, and of course the aforementioned HazardProd. This has been myself, Sir Pegasus, alongside Rhino, proud to crown a French organisation as the champion of the Redirect 3v3 Monthly. Let's see who will take that title for number 37. Next month, sign-ups will open tomorrow.